A customer recently asked how to trigger a field change from JavaScript. Now here's the scenario. A user navigates to a PeopleSoft page and then uses a barcode scanner to scan data into a data entry field. The barcode scanner ends by inserting a carriage return, or basically pressing the enter key. What we need is a way to trigger field change after the scanner sends that enter key. Now there are a handful of ways to accomplish this task, and I want to share them with you. But first, let me show you the mock fluid page we created for testing. So first you see the single data entry field at the top of the page. This is the one where we expect the barcode scanner to insert data and then press the enter key. So let's put in some mock data here, PeopleSoft user, and then I'll press the enter key. Now the field change people code behind this data entry field is supposed to look in PS role user for all users containing this role and then populate the grid below. It clearly isn't doing that right now because the enter key does not trigger field change. In fact, that is documented in my Oracle support, and we'll be sure to share the doc ID with you. So what are some strategies to work around this issue? Well, one is, and if you have interactive processing set, we can tab out of the field and field change people code will trigger. But we need to tab into something. What would that something be? We need something else on the page. So a common strategy is to insert a button to the right somewhere on the page so that we have somewhere to tab to. In fact, buttons can be set to trigger the enter key. So you could tab, hit the enter key, and trigger field change on the button rather than field change on the field. Anyway, those are just a couple of ideas. They are not my favorite idea. In fact, in this use case, more effort because the barcode scanner is already sending an enter key. So we want a way to trigger that field change from the enter key. Now, I say the easiest way to do that is with a prompt table. So let's set that up here. We've got role names, roles exist in the system. This is going to be a really easy one to use with a prompt table. First thing we need is a prompt table. Now, this is roles, and roles are maintained through the role maint component. The role maint component has a search page. That search page, of course, is based off a search record. That search record having the appropriate search record metadata that we could use here for a prompt table. So let's do that. Let's go back to App Designer. Let's find that component, PS role maint. Oh, that's perfect. Role maint. Let's go to the properties, grab the search record, and let's go to our own record. And let's set a prompt table on this. Prompt table edit. Perfect. Save. Reload. And let's try again. This time, put in the same thing, PeopleSoft user, press the enter key again. That's fantastic. Now, did you notice that I pressed the enter key as the type ahead was happening? I'm thinking this may not work well with a barcode scanner, which is just going to put in that data and hit the enter key really fast, unless you're able to insert some pause. But then again, do we want to reprogram the barcode scanners? I don't know. Let's try this again. How about PeopleSoft guest? And you can see over there 299 rows. Hit the enter key, and now we're at 14 rows. Let's go with people tools, enter. Oh, nothing until the type ahead appears, and then we hit the enter. Hey, it's an idea. May not be the best idea, but it's an idea. What if we don't have a prompt table, or as we saw here, waiting for the prompt table to load and the type ahead? Maybe not the appropriate way to handle this. So let's get rid of the prompt table. Let's just go with no edit, save button, reload, and we should see that, again, it doesn't work. PeopleSoft user, hit the enter key, and nothing happens. So I want a way to trigger the field change. And now we can do that because, well, everything that happens on the client is somehow sent back to the server, and usually that happens through JavaScript. So all we need to do is find the JavaScript to trigger for field change. So let's right-click and inspect, look at the element on the right, and we see that there is, in fact, an onChange handler. So we could write some JavaScript then to trigger the change handler. And then all JavaScript, or I should say all server-client interactions, happen through the net2.content loader, as well as through the submit action when whatever window you happen to be viewing. We happen to be at win 0, just to show you in a new window. This would be considered win 7 because you can see the 7 in the URL. This one is win 0 because there is no number in the URL. That's fantastic. Oh, in fact, you can see here, change win 0 or submit action win 0 is what we want to trigger. So I did that in advance. I put together some JavaScript, and I'm going to go ahead and share that with you. And what we're doing is we're going to attach a key handler, listening for the enter key. And when the enter key triggers, when the data entry field receives the enter key, we'll trigger the onChange handler. What we see here, the onChange handler, and then the submit action. Now I want you to notice we have meta HTML here for the form name, which would happen to be win0. So submit action win0. What are we submitting? The win0 form versus win7 versus whatever new window you happen to be in. Not something we can hard code. Are there ways to figure out which form you're viewing from the client side? Absolutely. Through JavaScript, we can figure it out. But this is just so much easier. Okay, so we've got the JavaScript created. Now, the good thing is that this is a fluid page. And what makes that good is we can then attach this JavaScript to the component. In this case, we go with component pre-build, component post-build. And I already have the JavaScript, the people code here. So we use add JavaScript, that HTML element. Now, this is very critical. You notice we're using the add JavaScript people code function. And the reason this is critical is because the add JavaScript function is going to evaluate this meta HTML for us, replacing %form name with win0. Versus if we used add onload script, for example, add onload script would not evaluate, at least it's been my experience, does not evaluate that meta HTML. Now, we do need a way to bind the key press handler. See, we don't have a key press handler here, but we want one. We want to listen for the enter key. So when the enter key is pressed, it triggers our key handler. And the way we attach a different JavaScript handler to a PeopleSoft HTML element through the JavaScript events property. All right, let's test this out and see what happens. So we've got the code enabled. We'll go ahead and press the save button, and we'll reload. And I'll type in PeopleSoft user, press the enter key, and it triggers the field change for us. Or let's try PeopleSoft guest, 299 rows. Want to see 14 rows, that's fantastic. And People Tools, that was giving us somewhere at 50 something rows, 58 rows. That's fantastic. Now at JSM Pros, we teach PeopleSoft development tips like this every week. Be sure to check out our website to see what we're offering next. Or here's an idea. Do you have a group you would like to train? Give us a call and let's get something on the schedule. Now, before we go, I have a question for you. Do you have an idea you'd like us to discuss on a future soundbite? If so, share it with us at soundbites.jsmpros.com. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more content. And we look forward to seeing you in the next episode.